Hello everyone and welcome to Advanced English Conversation. Today's conversation revolves around the expression easier said than done. Well, we know there are a lot of tasks, a lot of good ideas, a lot of suggestions that are beautiful to talk about, that are beautiful to say, but it is so hard, so difficult when it comes to that doing. For example, everybody likes or wishes that we can find a cure for cancer or diabetes. But is it easy to find that cure? Of course not. It's easy to say, but it's really difficult to do. It takes lots of experimentations and lots of efforts and doctors to experiment on humans, on animals, and many different cases to find out a cure for these diseases, but it's easier said than done. Let's explore some other examples. For example, this lady needs funding for her project and her friend suggests that she gets money from her dad. She says, "Why don't you just ask your dad to give you the money?" She says, "That's easier said than done. Well, it's easy to ask my dad to give me the money, but will he really give me the money? And if he does, he might ask too many questions about every detail. So it's no easy task to do this job, to do this task. It's a good idea to say, but it's really hard to implement." Another case, these two guys are almost, graduates, and the first one says, "We should get a job soon after graduation." His colleague says, "I wish we could." That's easier said than done. Well, when we are students, we think that life is gonna be all flowers and roses after we graduate. When we are at university, we think that with our studies and degrees, everybody is waiting to employ us. But the reality is so different. It's easier said than done. It's easy to say I'm gonna get a job, but it's so hard to find the job that you seek, that you would love to have. And there is another case here. The first guy says you should be careful about what you eat to lose weight. So he is giving suggestions to his friend about losing weight. And his friend says, "I'd love to, but that's easier said than done." Of course, it's really a beautiful idea to, control my diet and to be selective and eat healthily. But is that easy? Of course not. It's easier said than done. Now let's move on to the conversation. Hari, thanks for making some time for me, Sarah. I thought the new position would change you, but you have got a heart of gold indeed. Sarah, obviously, assuming responsibility is easier said than done. I've to sort out everything from scratch. Harry, if the worst comes to worst, consider hiring an assistant to share the workload. Sarah, well, let's not jump the gun. Currently, things are under control. Harry, be sure not to lose your head while dealing with Anne. She has got a one-track mind. Sarah, well, I shouldn't make any prejudgments about her before I meet her. I'd love to start with no hard feelings. Vocabulary. Make time. Arrange one's schedule for doing something or seeing someone. Have a heart of gold. Have a generous nature. Easier said than done. To be more easily talked about than put into practice. From scratch, from the very beginning. If the worst comes to the worst, if the situation develops in the most serious or unpleasant way. Jump the gun. Act before the proper or appropriate time. Lose one's head. To lose one's composure and act emotionally or irrationally. Have a one-track mind. Think only about one subject. No hard feelings. No feeling of being upset, no offense. Thank you so much for watching and see you in another advanced conversation.